Hi, I'm Bryony Kennedy, the founder of Adorn Cosmetics, and today I wanted to share with you the various ways that you can use the Anti-Aging Loose Mineral Foundation with the SPF 20+ from the Adorn range. So first of all, I wanted to mention that it really goes without saying that what you put on your face first before you apply the loose minerals really will make a difference as to how it looks and how it lasts. So you need to really have an understanding of your skin type. So if you are someone who has quite an oily skin, then you may want to opt for some form of hydration that is oil-free but still moisturizing, so something that's more a water-based product. Then apply your loose minerals. If you have more of a dehydrated skin or a dry skin, you may want to opt for a facial oil or a combination of a facial oil and a moisturiser together. So I'll show you what I recommend in a moment. The reason I suggest those two is that you're introducing those natural oils or that natural sebum feel of human skin. You're bringing that back into that dehydration or that dry skin, and you're giving more of a slip for the loose minerals to work with. If you have really deep wrinkles and you are oily, again, I would use a water-based product. If you have deep wrinkles and you're dehydrated, moisturize, because wrinkles are quite deep, and if you apply a moisturizer, it's going to basically make those wrinkles a little bit more softer and more fuller looking, and then your makeup's going to sit on it a lot more fresh looking, I suppose. So the options I've got to show you today is the Adorn Hydration Plus Primer Day Moisturizer in one. So it's one product that does two things. Okay, it preps the skin, it helps regulate oily or dry areas, it's super hydrating, it's mainly water-based, but it does have some beautiful oils like jojoba oil, which really moisturizes without clogging the pores. So this would be a really good option if you have a dry an oily skin and you're just needing something. Okay, if you have a really dry skin, then you would opt for the facial oil, and the antioxidant superfood facial oil is such a hero of the Adorn range, and the reason for that is it's super hydrating, nourishing, it fights free radicals, but it doesn't congest the skin. So for those of you that suffer from rosacea, this is a perfect product. I know sometimes you get told to avoid oils, but not in this instance, where the oils are such things like lavender oil, geranium oil and jojoba oil. Now they all help calm inflammation, they help calm redness, they help with wound healing, which is really what you want, and it will honestly make a significant difference if you're using that to help calm the rosacea. So for those of you that have the more mature skin or dry dehydrated skin, the answer is you can use a loose mineral foundation as long as you introduce facial oil underneath. Now you might want to try a rosehip oil, that's fine as well, but just try something that's a pure botanical oil, not something that's a mineral oil or petroleum based, because the product will sit on your skin, not in the skin, and then your makeup will just wear off during the day. Okay, so you want something that's porous, that's going to work with the skin, and that's really what makes the difference to a mineral foundation staying put and looking natural. So moving on, what I'm going to do is I am going to just do a pump of the primer, and I like to also do, so then I just pop it in the palm, I also do a pump of the antioxidant superfood facial oil. Now I also pop it on my neck, I pop it on my décolletage if that's out, and I do put it over my eyes because I'm quite dehydrated. Again, if you've got oily eyes, then just a small amount. I would avoid using an eye cream during the day. Just a basic moisturiser combination will be enough. You don't need eye cream as well, as you'll find your eye makeup's not going to last during the day. Unless you're not wearing any eye makeup, then you could put one on. So the application that we have for the loose minerals is a flat top Kabuki brush. Okay, the reason we have a flat top Kabuki brush is that it is quicker to apply your products because more bristles are touching the surface area. When you've got a dome brush, only this part of the dome is going to be buffing foundation in. So you're basically getting product going everywhere. It's much messier. So a flat top Kabuki brush touches more skin, more surface area. It's quicker, which is what we want, but it also spreads the product out more and you don't need as much product. Okay, so it's important that you have a good brush because using this every day does exfoliate the skin every day. So if you have skin sensitivities, you want something super soft because a brush can aggravate the skin over using it for a long period of time. So really something that's as soft as you can get it and not going to aggravate the skin. Okay, so I'm just going to show you, and hopefully it shows up in the tutorial, how you can apply the loose minerals to get different coverages. Okay, so before I forget, you can apply this over the top of a liquid or a cream for super coverage for nighttime if you're wanting to. But if you're wanting just a light everyday coverage, then you use a buffing motion. Okay, so really big buffing. So you can see already from that side of my face that that's given me some coverage. So I am really just loosely buffing this on. So the bigger the buffing motion, the more stretched the pigment, and these are natural pigments made from minerals. We don't use synthetic pigments, so you don't need a lot of this product at all. So bigger buffing motion will give you, I guess, that flawless but more tinted moisturiser everyday coverage. So that non-made up look, just fresh skin. Okay, so you can see just a gentle sweep of the eye. So you can see that that has helped cover the nose veins that I had. I've got a little bit of veins, so you can see here compared to here. It's helped lift my dark circles a little bit as well. So really, if I wanted to, this side of my face, I could just pop a bit of blush on and maybe some mascara and be done with it. So you can see there's quite a nice difference. Okay, so for more coverage, okay, my tips are just changing the way you use the brush. So always, no matter what sort of coverage you want, you only need about this much on at a time, and you don't need to swirl it around in the lid. That just makes mess. You just push the product. So move the brush around, and I'm just pushing the brush into the minerals. This swirling business just gets it everywhere. Okay, so that also gets it nice and even on the brush. It pushes it into the fibers, and then it goes onto the skin evenly. So this side of my face, I'm using a stippling motion. So it's a roll and a press. Okay. And so what this one's going to do is give me a much heavier coverage, or more of a nighttime coverage, or for those that just need that extra coverage. It's also less messy doing it this way because you're just rolling it. So you can pop it on the eyes, but just be very careful that you're not dragging the skin. So with the loose minerals in Adorn's range, they're all pure pigments. We don't use anything that's synthetic. Okay, they do not congest the skin. It's porous. So that's what makes it sweat and water resistant. So if you are someone who sweats during the day, it will sweat through the makeup, and all you need to do is dab a tissue and you'll find the sweat on the tissue but not the makeup. Okay, a lot of products that have silicons or mineral oils will sit on the skin like a Glad wrap. So if your moisturisers have those in there and then you put a foundation over the top, you're going to sweat underneath or secrete oils underneath that mineral oil or that occlusive product that doesn't breathe, and therefore it separates. So we've all had makeup that separates during the day, and it's usually because of what you've put underneath it is covering the skin rather than sitting in with the skin. So you want porous products where possible, so that you're not going to have that separation. So it's really about what you put under your makeup as well as what's in your makeup that's going to make a significant difference as to how long it lasts and how well it looks. So a mineral foundation should last, or ours, if you've got a dry skin, it'll last all day, if not longer. If you've an oilier complexion, you know, you may get somewhere from 4 to 6 hours out of it. But lucky you that you've got oily skin, because it means that you're less likely to show the signs of aging, because you've got that oil protecting the skin more than the drier skin. So you can see on this side that it's got a slight more coverage than it has here, okay, and it's just because I've used this stippling motion, and I can keep layering that. I can just keep going back and layering it and layering it and layering it until I've got the coverage that I want, okay. Now, foundation does not stop at your jawline. It goes all the way down your neck. And when you've got a product that's water resistant like this and sweat resistant, it's less likely to rub off on clothes, so why wouldn't you put that there to get the SPF? Okay, if you've got your décolletage exposed, you might even want to pop a bit down there. So that's the mineral foundation and how to use it. So big buffing motion for less coverage on this side, and you can see on this side it's slightly heavier because I've used a stippling motion, okay? And again, it's just more dipping in smaller areas, okay, and you just keep adding more and more product. This side I've not used as much product, I've just dipped less and buffed more, okay. So with the loose mineral foundation, I've selected the medium olive shade today. I can use light to medium. So if you want to use a foundation color that's a little bit darker, you can, but you just need to make sure that it's the same base or the same tone. So if you're a yellow base, then don't go picking something that's darker, that's a pink base, otherwise you end up with an orange looking face. So yes, you can wear something a little bit darker. It's preferable to color match exactly, but if you don't want to look washed out like I don't, you can use a shade a little bit darker, but just make sure it has the same pink or yellow base as your skin. So that's a little tip. So the light medium and medium olive are fairly similar, just that the medium olive's a little bit darker. So if you've got an exceptionally oily skin, you may want to opt for using the oil control setting powder in the Adorn range. It's white, but it goes on clear, and you may just want to dust that down your T-zone, which is where you normally secrete most of your oils. That will help control that for you and make your makeup stay put. If you're really, really oily, you may even want to carry that around with you during the day, but blot the oil off first and then pop the setting powder on. If you are someone who has quite dehydrated skin, then what you might find is that the Rosewater, and this is a pure Rosewater, it's not synthetic, extremely hydrating, so it locks in moisture, so it's great if you're in heating or air conditioning. So what this will do is not only get your makeup to look more skin-like, so you can put it on instantly, or you can spritz it during the day, and what that will do is just help keep the makeup looking fresh throughout the day. So oil setting powder for oily skin and the Rosewater for more dehydrated skins. So hopefully that's helped you get some tips on how you can use your anti-aging loose mineral foundation and the various ways you can use the brush to get those different desired looks.